serious.
Now it's pronounced Igor.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Goonies never say die.
Inconceivable!
You're killing me, Smalls.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about fighting.
To infinity and beyond.
Hello to my little friend!
For those of you who don't know who the Marx Brothers are, they were four siblings, Groucho, Harpo, Chico, and Zeppo Marx, who got their start in a 1905 vaudeville comedy act in New York. They worked together for over 20 years before making their first film in 1929. Their success is largely based on the fact that when the movie industry was making their unfamiliar transition from silent films to talkies, the Marx Brothers were the perfect kind of actors needed to fill the holes that silent actors couldn't.
Show business had been revolutionized. With talking movies the latest rage, Paramount, like all studios, was desperate to sign performers who could move and speak at the same time. They snapped up the Marx Brothers.
Their time working together in their vaudeville act helped them develop their characters, comedic timing, and chemistry, and nowhere is this more apparent than in their 1933 film, Duck Soup. I mentioned this film in my list of top 30 favorite movies. I wanted to talk about it more because it is undoubtedly the best film in the Marx Brothers catalog, and was the last movie to feature all four of them. The plotline sees Groucho Marx as Rufus T. Firefly, a bumbling, wisecracking idiot who was put in charge of a bankrupt country against his own will.
In a crisis like this, I feel Fredonia needs a new leader. A progressive, fearless fighter. A man like Rufus T. Firefly.
Rufus T. Firefly.
By his side is his knowledgeable secretary Bob, played by Zeppo Marx.
Your Excellency, quiet. This letter's to work at Trentino. The man is trying to undermine you. Now, what are you going to do about it?
A rivaling country sends in two spies, Pinky and Ciccolini, played by Harpo and Chico, to get information on the newly appointed leader.
Now let's concentrate. Have you been trailing Firefly?
Have we been trailing Firefly? Why, my partner, he's got a nose just like a bloodhound.
Really?
Yeah, and the rest of his face don't look so good either.
Each of the Marx Brothers have their own way of portraying their characters to bring different elements of comedy into the film. Groucho uses his quick-witted dialogue and insults.
Well, that covers a lot of ground. Say, you cover a lot of ground yourself. You better beat it. I hear they're going to tear you down and put up an office building where you're standing.
Chico has his hilarious play on words.
What is it? Has a trunk, but no key. Weighs 2,000 pounds and lives in a circus.
That's irrelevant.
Irrelevant? Hey, that's the answer. There's a whole lot of relevance in the circus.
Harpo speaks no lines in most of the movie, but relies more on facial expressions and props for comedic relief. The only one who never really brings anything comedic to the table is Zeppo. In all their films, he was always portrayed as a straight man, and this one is no exception. Not to say he wasn't a good actor, but he never shined as bright as his brothers, and tragically, this was actually the last film he ever made, because critics said that he was bringing down his brothers' performances. That being said, this is another film that has influenced and inspired enormous amounts of movies, TV shows, and especially cartoons. No other scene proves that than the mirror scene. In the scene, Harpo and Chico are disguised as Groucho and mimic his movements where there was once a mirror. As I've said before, it is funny and well executed. It's been replicated by the likes of Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse, Family Guy, The Three Stooges, The X-Files, The Pink Panther, and even I Love Lucy, where Harpo Marx actually played himself opposite Lucille Ball. For those who are interested in watching any of their other movies, I would also recommend A Night at the Opera, Animal Crackers, Monkey Business, and Horse Feathers. They all carry the same charm and originality that the Marx Brothers are so fondly remembered for. Shadow creeping up the stairs, the way he walks into the door that perfectly fits the shape of his body. I most humbly present to you my top 30 favorite films.